Good morning, everyone. I am back. Today we are going to do a really fun little adventure. What I'm going to actually do is I want to open that up. I want to make a little scene on these tips. Now the scene is going to be fairly cute. It's going to be fairly transparent to a certain point. What I would like to do is go ahead and paint these tips a jelly green. After that, we're going to come back and we're going to add some sparkle near to the bottom of the tip, and maybe even a few little different types of sparkle. I got some butterfly sparkles here, a little bit of green, almost like this could be our grassy area near the bottom, but I want to do it in sparkle because I want it to be very fairy tale-like or fairy-like. We're going to work with our fairies today, and I want it to be just like you're looking at a scene and you just see kind of like a silhouette of a fairy over there. And that's kind of what I'm aiming for today. So I've got my fairies played out and I've got all my fairy-ish type sparkle, but like I said, I want it to be very transparent. I want it to be that green transparent, so it's almost like you're looking through the grass, but there's some on the bottom, but it's more fluttery. So I will be right back after I paint my tips this jelly green. Okay, while the other ones are just finishing off curing, what I want to do is you can add stuff kind of in the background, which is kind of nice. What I want to do is go for my darkest color, but to hold it down, I kind of want to add a little bit of this green. Well, you know what? This is probably, yeah, it's got quite the sticky layer. So we're going to go for our dark color. Just get a brush here. Duh. Come on out, buddy. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go in, very hairy. I'm going to go in with a few of my dark little ones here and just put this along here on the bottom. Sorry, I guess you got to be able to see it to know what's going on. Now, you don't need as many as that. That one I put a few on. I'm just going to put a few more randomly along different sections. You don't need to put as many as that. Let me just pull these out of the lamp now that they got their sticky layer. And actually, I think with this one, I'm going to take a little bit of that off. That's a little much. There, not so bad. Then I'm going to just add a few of these randomly along different areas. A little bit more in a few, just a couple in another. Okay. Take those off. Okay, at this point, I think I want to add some of my green along here. It's very light green. I'm just going to add it in certain sections on my sticky layer. Give it another kind of effect. This is a really nice light green kind of sheer effect, but it's very green. It's from Niao. Yeah, what is this called? It's called Electric Lime Chunky Glitter. That's pretty cool. Now there's a reason why I'm adding a bunch of this in the background, because I want to do another layer of the green before I go ahead and do my fairy with my black polish. I'm going to do a stamp of the black fairy, right? And then what I'd like to do is come up with like maybe some blue or purple of these little things just to give it like a grassy type, fairy-ish type area with a little bit of like green sparkle before I do my top coat. So this is kind of going to be my background. So anything I want kind of in my background is what I want to get on there now. So I have a little bit of sparkle here, green sparkle. I'm going to put on a few of these. And what's kind of nice by having it laid out like this, you can take the brush like this and almost do like you're doing like a little painting. You can kind of just kind of set yourself up for success is kind of what I look at it as. And what I also like is because you're doing kind of like a scene nail, I like to add I like to add lots of sparkle to stuff because once you add the top coat on, it's so beautiful. If you didn't have that drama in the background, it gets very boring. So like, yeah, sure, it's nice to have a green background. You could just do a plain green background and then put your fairy on and it would look nice. But I like to give it lots of drama. Also at this point, I want to add a couple of maybe butterflies in the background. So what I could do is I also got stars and little iridescent sparkles here. You can add a couple in the background. This isn't going to show up as much. It's going to be better in the foreground. So I have little pink butterflies here. I might just take one and oddly place it one every, couple of spots, like they're playing in the grass, or they're playing up above, flying around. And then I also got the gold ones here as well. So you don't want to overdo it either because you can always put some in the foreground too, right? So, oh, there's a good spot for one. So too much can sometimes be a little too much. There's a couple of them playing there. But adding drama is nice too. Okay, so I have a couple of these little like iridescent flower thingies. Might add a couple of those in there just in random spots. Like I said, these aren't going to show as much, so I don't want to add too much, because then you're just kind of overdoing it. Okay, so at that point I'm going to stop because now I've got a nice background and I'm going to show you kind of what I've done. So I've added like grassy type area, a little bit of butterfly action going on there, kind of brought kind of like a little background happening there, right? So now what I want to do is go through and add. Now you can do it two ways. You can either add a top coat layer at this point or another green layer. I think I want to go with a green layer because then this kind of color, the jelly colors, does not really change too much from what it is, and it'll just give that little bit more green effect to the green areas. Also, might darken some of those areas so that when I go and I put my other layer on top, it's going to look different. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and add another layer of this, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. I did another coat, and all of that is kind of encapsulated in there. Now, I did go ahead and take the sticky layer off. You don't want a sticky layer when you're stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and take the image that I want, and I'm going to pull it up. Just gonna make sure it's as pristine as I want it by clearing off any imperfections. Okay, where do I want this one? This is a nice one. I want it to be fairly transparent because it is fairies. Now you can see I do have stuff in the background there, so you're not seeing it as clear, but it is a really nice effect. Okay, so now wherever I want another one, I'm going to get another one here. I've got a ton of them here, so this one looks cute. Grab that one. Okay. Here, I put that one on there. Now, again, you could probably use your Sharpies too if you wanted to do more of color. I do find that on this type of effect, I like black silhouetting. Black silhouetting really gives it a different look, and I like that. I like the more goth look. And I got two on here, so I might be able to get away with. Just gonna need a little bit more space too. Okay, that one's really pretty. Let's do this one here. And you don't need to have one on all of them if you want to give it more of a random look. I think I'll do one more. I like this little one here with the moon. And I think I'll do that one here. Oh, that one is so cute. Okay, so now I've got two here and a thumb, and I got two here. If I have something small enough, I might do something on the pinky there. Is this little one small enough? Might be. I'll try it. Might be. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Now, at this point, I want that to dry really well. If I do want to stick any other sparkles on, now would be the time. But because I got the sticky layer off, the best thing to do would be to top coat it, then put a little bit on, or another thing that I like to do is I use my resin, right? So I'm thinking, I wouldn't mind just in a couple of random spots putting a couple of these. I have something that I can stick onto here. Let me see. A couple of these like little, I don't know if you can see them, they're like little shards of sparklies. So I just might put a couple of those around before I top coat. And I'll find like different areas, different types. Here, these are like little moons. Those are cute. Maybe one of those, and maybe a star down below it. Ooh, that dried pretty fast. The resin really goes fast. Okay. I think I want another one here. I think I'll go for a star here. There. Just another one there. You're stuck. No sticking. No sticking allowed. No. No. Very hard to see some of these. They're just so iridescent. There we go. Yay! Okay, so now I've got that on. Also at this point, I think I want to add a little bit of this green sparkle on the bottom. It's like, this is my one from Savvy Land. This is my emerald green. Just want to add a little bit. They're so sparkly. Oh my god, I love these. So I'm just going to go in, add a little bit along the bottom, certain random areas. So I don't even mind that it covers if I happen to get anything over the little fairy's foot or anything like that, because if she's in the grass, right, there might be something over her foot anyway, so you wouldn't be able to see it at your location. Ha ha ha. So we're getting very technical. And we want it to look like a real picture, right? So this stuff is very sparkly. I love it. It's one of my favorite green. And it's my favorite go-to for sparkle of any type. So okay, I did that now. Now before I cure it, if there's anything else I want to add, now is the time. I'm just going to put the top back on this because I want to make sure it just get cured by the lamp. Okay. Now I do have these little purple and blue little shard sparkle thingies here. I don't want a lot of this. I want to keep the green more fairy-ish, but just I thought maybe even a few of these randomly around might just give us more of like a fairy tale look. So here I'll try to get in here so you can see what I'm doing. Just a few, very light amount. Different locations, different ones. Give us a little bit more than just the green. And then, like I said, I also got the blue here, so I'll go in with the blue maybe on this one. Kind of makes it look like grass. So now I'll come up so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So literally I'm just doing the tiniest amount, because I don't necessarily want a ton of this. I want it to look like little things laying in the grass, or little grass just kind of laying off onto the side. Just make it look more fairy tale-ish. And at this point, I want to put a couple more of my butterflies on just to bring them up to the front so I can see them now at this point. Excuse me. I think I want one here by my little fairy. Yeah. Okay, so I think I've added everything that I've wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and top coat, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, and here we have the finished nails. Trying to give you a little bit of a shot with some really good light here so you can see the amount of sparkle we've got going here. And I will see you next time.